Hi everybody, Russ and the West Ham Network. Hope you're all safe and well. If you're new here, give it a like, give it a comment, give it a share, give it a bloody good subscribe. And let's talk about some goddamn transfer rumours, shall we, for a change? Yes, indeed. I thought we should talk about some transfer rumours. Why not? A bit unusual, isn't it? Anyway, I hope everyone is safe and well. As I say, if you're new around here, give it a like, give it a comment, give it a share, give it one of those subscribes. Always happens. Always good to know. I think about 40% of you aren't subscribed, which is mental, really, because we're on every day, twice a day, sometimes. If you just go down there, have a quick look. If it's grey, you subscribe. Well done, congratulations. If it's red, just press that button. It turns grey. It's brilliant. And that's all we need to know. And you hit the bell notification and you won't miss any content. We've got some good guests coming up in the next few weeks. You don't want to miss any. Some very good guests. Not just ex-players, but celebrity fans and various others as well. Lots of fans. So it's going to be all good. Now, I don't know whether I'm going to make this a Jesse-free zone today. Quite possibly. Let's make it a Jesse-free zone today if we can. Let's just do that. Let's see if we've got the chat quickly, and I'll go through our list of new rumours or new information as we've been finding. Scott, looks like Moyes is as frustrated as fans about deals. Gerdon Downs was signed perfectly. Still hopeful. There's more to come. I'm pretty sure there will be, Scott. Mustard Man, hope you're well. I'm going to put a bit of music on. Just underneath. That's just underneath. That's it. Morning, Mustard Man. Hope you are well as always. Gaz is in the house. Razor, good afternoon from Australia. Hope you're well. Is it still quite cold over there? It's quite cold, my friend was telling me the other day. Happy Emirates in the house. Hope you're well. Greg's here as well. Nice to see. David, hope you're well. Good afternoon. Patrick, feels like the club is going backwards. I was looking on Monday. Monday's child is full of joy, which is what we all were. Tuesdays and Thursdays, Charlie's pissed off with Jesse Lingard. Oh, I was gonna make it a Jesse free zone. I lasted 2 minutes. There we go. Lingard having medical. We tried. That's basically the subtitle to our 2022-23 summer transfer window. Underneath the DVD, we tried. Evening, legend. Hope you're well. Afternoon, Pete. Have to say, I'm enjoying the pre-season. Not the first team, but the under 8. Was it 4-0 they won yesterday? Under 18s are smashing it. Kevin Keane's over there at the moment, so there we go. Hope you're well, Rob. Please, I will try my best to make Jesse free zone. We say it's Jesse free, Richard. Morning, Paul. Hope you're well. Jesse free. Wembley. Hope you're well. Yes, I think we do need a Lingard swear box indeed. And Ludd is in the chat as well. So we're going to go a few transfers, a few updates. We're not going to talk about any of the big uns, I don't think, so to speak, as the actress said to the Bishop. We're not going to talk about Brozier or Skamaka or Nana, because those just seem to be just plodding along. I think what will happen will happen. We are going to be talking about some different ones today. We'll start with this dude. We've been speaking about him before. Anton spoke about him yesterday in Hammer's headlines, in the guise of Dwight McNeil. Now, let's not turn your nose up to Dwight McNeil. I think he could be one of those not creepers, but growers. Just bear with me. So apparently, us and Crystal Palace have both inquired about Dwight McNeil, according to Sky Sports. Apparently, for Palace, that sort of left-sided winger isn't a priority for them. I think it is for us, to be honest, having a proper winger, a left-sided winger. You've got Bowen on the right, a proper left-sided winger on the left, and maybe McNeil could be it. So it's left the door wide open for the 22-year-old, for West Ham to swoop in for the 22-year-old Burnley winger. As I said, we valued around 15 million quid by Burnley, and as I said, us and Palace, but Palace seem to be ruling themselves out of it, to be honest. I mean, I know if you look at his stats, and I know we look at stats quite a lot on this channel, he doesn't seem to have set the world alight. I mean, 7 goals, 147 Premier League appearances, 17 assists, sort of somewhat make up for it. However, he's not necessarily the level of a Jared Bowen, for example. But I think there could be something in this one. And people are going to turn up their nose to Dwight McNeil. They will do. But actually, I think 22, I think Creeper Grower, yeah, exactly. Yes, his porn star name. I think someone like this could be quite an interest. I think it could, with the right manager, with Moyes' arm around his shoulder, he could prove to be a real bargain, I think, for 15 million quid. He gives us some natural width on the left-hand side. He's pacey as well. He's quite pacey, which is, again, something we miss quite a lot at the moment. We're not a very quick side. I think it could be interesting. I think it could be a goer. I really do. Yeah. Maybe not left back. I mean, he has played left wing back, but you never know. You never know with this one. Richard would be happy with McNeil. Would improve him. He's 22. Shouldn't have any problems getting him in. He will do a job for us and won't upset the dressing room if he comes off the bench. I totally agree. Does have the talent. Not evident in a shit Burnley side. You're totally right. He's not the player we've been trying for, but he's probably what we should be all having to expect. Club make a rod for their own back the way they do this. No, I think David. I think we have to. I think there's a balancing act. They can't all be full international, like Skarmaka for 35 minutes, or no. You're going to have a balancing act. I think Dwight McNeil will be a very good squad player for us, and I think under the right tutelage, Mark Warburton has a great track record of bringing in, of working with young English wingers, particularly, and he's midfielders, his time at QPR and various others. He could get the best out of him. I really think he could. The old Rusty Rumour rating has given this one 7 out of 10. That's quite high for Rusty Rumour rating, as you know. Attitude issues, no. Doesn't sound like a Moyes man, indeed. He's probably the least likely attitudes we've had recently. Right, let's move on. Let's move on like Donkey Kong. Let's see who we got next on the list. Next we have Sosa. So basically, I think ex-WHU employee said on his podcast the other day, West Ham identified 3 left backs. We've spoken about 2 of them already before. We've spoken about David Rahm, who I think is our number 1 choice, to be honest. We've then also spoken about Philip Kostic from Eintracht Frankfurt. Wouldn't really say he's really a left back as such, but he has played left back last season. But the third man, he sort of dropped in, and actually I think there's the most interesting, in my opinion, is Borna Sosa. The Croatian international left back. Now, considering how impressive he was for Stuttgart last season, I was really excited with him. I mean, I'm excited about Rahm, definitely, but Sosa definitely, I think, could be a really exciting potential for us. I mean, last season, 28 Bundesliga appearances, he scored a goal, 8 assists, created 9 big chances for his teammates. Over 2 key passes, 2.5 crosses, 1.3 dribbles per game, so good stats. He's only on 15 grand a week. Talking about wages, but we're not talking about wages in a moment. So yeah, that's quite an average in terms of wages. Averages around 7.3 on the older Sofa Score matchday rating, so consistently a good player. Not only ranks as Stuttgart's best performer in the league last season, but also the 13th best player in the Bundesliga. The joint 13th best player. And I mean, the best, what was it? There was someone called him, I think it was Stuttgart sporting director Sven Mislanta, even went as far as to compare the 24-year-old left-back to David Beckham, saying Borna said himself that Beckham is his role model, and I think he has the similar qualities. He's got the hair. I think this one could be an interesting one. I don't think he would command as much money as Rahm. I think Rahm is our top target on that left back side, but Sosa could definitely do a job. The old Rusty Rumour rating gives this one a 6 out of 10. 6 out of 10 for Sosa. And I'll tell you for why in a minute. Right, let's have a look what we get. Sofa would be decent. I think it means Sosa. Sosa would be a great shout at left back and probably more obtainable than Ram, assuming Vlasic don't trash him. That's what I mean, it's Croatians as well. They like to talk to each other, and I think that's why I can't see. I suppose. Was it Bologna? Is it Bologna? No, Torino were looking at him, weren't they? We do need a Sofa, don't we? Indeed. No, we mean Sosa. There's a cue. Yeah, Brian. Yeah, pound in the swear in the Jesse swear box. Sosa looks so good. He's a good player. 21. As David said, if it's 20 million quid, I think Ram, you're looking about 35 million, and arguably probably a slightly better player. But there's not much in it. I'll be honest. I don't think there's much in it in terms of two of them. And I think it'd be really. I think it could be. Clearly, there's I think all of those three. I think Kostic. I don't really rate Kostic. I think he's 29 now. He's still having a bit of a renaissance. But Ram or Sosa, one of them, I think, could do a really good job for us. Either or, really, I'd be happy with. But there we go. Let's move on. Who's next? Who's next on the Rusty list? It is another Stuttgart player. That's why I put 6 out of 10, because I could see something happening with a double deal for Stuttgart. And it's with one Belgian. In terms of Onana, we don't know what's happening with that. 38 million quid. Apparently it's been accepted. It hasn't been accepted. I don't know what's happening with Onana. But there's another Belgian bun in the oven. Very good. And that's according to a report from Germany, which claims that West Ham want to sign Belgian midfielder Orel Mangala. Several German football sites claim that West Ham want to sign the Belgian midfielder. In terms of Mangala, he's totally different to Onana. So Onana's 6'5", big. Think of it like a big, Mark Vivian Foe, God rest his soul. Big, athletic central midfielder, physically imposing. Mangala's different. Mangala is very much like a N'Golo Kante. Small, stocky, gets about, puts it about, but different sort of. One's very tall, one's very short, but more sort of N'Golo Kante than Patrice Vieira, for example. Around 17 million quid, they reckon it will take him. He's got 2 years on his current deal. He joined from Anderlecht in 2017 for around just shy of $1,850,000, and he's played 109 games for Stuttgart across all competitions. He also spent the 18-19 season on loan to Hamburg. As I said, he's likened to N'Golo Kante, and he's very much more diminutive than Onana, who's 6'5", but he's a very effective and efficient operator. So again, one we probably don't know a lot about. That's why when these new names come up, I always have get a bit excited, to be honest. So let's see. We are after Mangala indeed. Nothing as I think at the moment. He cost a Ram and a leg, very, very good. I honestly think this link is due to Notts having a bid rejected for him. Don't think we're in for him. Well, let's see. The old Rusty Room rating has given that another 6 out of 10, because I can see a double deal maybe with Stuttgart. Who knows? Right, what have we got here? Watching the Rangers game, apart from it looked like we were slow on the mark. I think we were all a bit knackered by all accounts. That Moyes had a really busy, really tough training session the day before, and I think maybe it's a bit too soon in the pre-season to have something that tough in a game, which was quite a big friendly game, really, wasn't it? Maybe if it was like Luton or someone, with respect to Luton or Reading or something like that immediately afterwards, but not Rangers in my opinion. But anyway, check him out on the old YouTube. We always do. He's an international teammate, and I think he's he's a central midfielder, box to box. Onana, I think for me, Onana has more potential when he's 20. This guy's 24, a little bit longer along the way. I think you have to have it. I mean, you look at Kante, he's probably the exception to the rule in terms of having that sort of diminutive stature. But Kante was unplayable, wasn't he? When he was at the height of his Leicester days and his Chelsea days, really. But I think Onana has a physicality in terms of the height, and also we're there as well. In terms of corners and things like that, maybe a little bit more. But I think either or could do well. Onana's, well, this guy Mangala's like a smaller, like stockier player. So. We'll see. Right, who is next? Russ? Let's have a quick look. Next, we have a forward. We've spoken about him a little bit before. Hwang Ui-jo. Apparently, West Ham are eyeing a bargain deal to sign the Bordeaux striker Hwang Ui-jo in the summer transfer. He is, as according to a report from The Keep, who claimed the 29-year-old would prefer to stay in Europe, then move to the MLS. And Hwang Ui-jo is someone the Scot, in terms of David Moyes, has been linked with bringing to the London Stadium since last month. RMC Sport claimed that West Ham were lining up at €8 million, about £7 million, move to sign the 47-capped South Korean international in the summer transfer window. Bordeaux apparently have rejected a £4 million bid for MLS side Minnesota United. Didn't they beat Everton 4-0 away, 4-0 last night? Our pre-season ain't looking that bad. And also go look at Conor Gallagher's penalty last night as well. It's shocking.com. The League One side, apparently League side want more money for Hwang, and the attacker wants to remain in Europe rather than move to the States. That's left the door wide open again for West Ham to swoop in. If, in my opinion, if he was the only forward we got, I think everyone would be a bit pissed off. If we did get a Broja or a Skamaka and him as well, that's not a bad. I don't think that's bad, because he can operate across the front line, which will obviously appeal to Mr. Moyes. Last year he bagged, I think, 11 goals, 2 assists in 32 league games. He's a good player, useful addition to the squad, but I wouldn't say he would be the first choice, if that makes sense. Also, thinking of it from a commercial perspective, you see the craziness that Son has every time with South Korean fans. We would probably have the same or some sort of degree with Hwang Ui-jo as well. So you would make your money back on him on the shirt sales alone. Let's be honest, that's part and parcel of, that's what people look at as well in terms of shirt sale size. I've given him 5 out of 10 because I've got a feeling there should be some others further on the line, but it's interesting to see. Let's see. Is Rizzy still alive? Yes, he is. J-Lo, indeed. Or G-Lo. We need one of those guys who scores goals. Oh, yeah, one of those guys. Yeah. Strikers. Isn't Moyes looking for young? Yeah, he is, but that's why I think he could be sort of the not the main man, but the second choice, if that makes sense. Russ, FaceTime Moyes quick, see what he's saying. Indeed, they will sign Joe for the shirt sales. Well, that's what I mean. I think I think for me, that is a consideration, isn't it? He would, and also in terms of expanding into the, this, we're not talking about this, talking about football as a business rather than on the pitch, but expanding into the Asian market as well. That's really only something the top teams do, and Spurs, really, only because they've got Son, in all honesty. Don't know where it stands at the moment. Bid has not been rejected, so is that hopeful? Well, apparently it is hopeful, David, but we don't know. No one knows. It's all gone quiet, and I quite like the fact it's gone quiet, because all this, let me put a pound in the jar. All this Lingard saga stuff, it's just pissing people off. I'd rather not know than have false this, nothing, and then yes or no. Simple. It's like me. I mean, I work in sales, and the worst thing is not knowing. So yes or no. So this Onana thing's gone quiet. It could be a good thing. Maybe it's doing negotiations about it, and no one's been told about it. Who knows? Same as Skamaka and Broja. I think we'll have one or the other. I think we'll have Skamaka or Broja. I don't think we'll have both. I think we'll have Skamaka and Broja, and then maybe someone like Joe as well, to sort of supplement that. I think Porto in for Joe. Well, I mean Porto need to stump up the dollar. £4 million for Minnesota United has been rejected by Bordeaux, so we'll see. Vlasic looked better at Rangers. Yeah, I think he did. I think we could go in for Rico Henry and Ivan Toney. I think Rico Henry, he's just too. I don't think he's the right one for us. I think I'd rather spend that money on someone who's. I mean, the fact is, he's not good enough for Brentford because Brentford have gone out and spent 16 million quid on Aaron Hickey, who's going to take his place. So why do you want their cast-offs? Ivan Toney's a different thing, but I think that'll be a different conversation. I think the likes of, we said it before, the likes of Man United and people are looking at him as well. So there. Then watch the man's moan about tourists. Yeah, good point. Let me go around here. How much is a risk? Shirt says it's a myth. No revenue do you think it generates? I'm saying shirt sales not as in monetary value, as in a marketing plan. Shirt sales as in selling shirts in South Korea and then expanding it into the South Korean market. That's what I'm saying. That's the biggest growth, isn't it? In terms of areas into the Asian market, and we haven't got a foothold really in there, so there we go. Russ is a pirate who works in sales. Very good point. Shows our weakness, although how he didn't see it last season beyond me. Would Joe be the shortest name on the back of a West Ham shirt ever? Well, of a player? Yeah, probably. Yeah, Joe. Can't think of anything more. There would have been yeah, probably. Yeah. Or would it be Ui-jo? I don't know. I'd rather any weaknesses get exposed in pre-season. I totally agree. In a few games in season, once the window is shut, I totally agree. Denver Bar, very good Bar. Belotti's available. He's good. 29 would be. He is Sharky, but also I think he's talking to Monaco at the moment, and he has been talking. I think he's doing a Jesse, just going around getting his another pound. No, about to 43 backs. I think with Belotti is the same deal with him, JL. See, I didn't say his name then. And if he goes to Monaco, then they free up a bit of money because there's a Fabregas left. Didn't they sell Fabregas to Como in Serie B? And so they've got a bit more money in the bank now. Plus, I think if he goes, then I think Ben Yedder will be available and he'll go to a club. So that's what they're trying to do, the succession. Wonder if Lille are trying to find a replacement. Possibly. They might be. You're probably right. Everyone forgets about the loans. 3 Championship or Eastern Europeans incoming. There we go. Dwight's not consistent enough for 1 or 2 games. Then 15 off. You might as well keep Ben Rahman safe. The money's just tough. But I think maybe in the right environment, Mr. Morehouse, in a side maybe that's built around more attacking play, trying to be nice, I think he could do something. I think he reminds me a little bit of Matthew Effington, that sort of throwback. He is similar sort of physique as well, and I think him on the left, Bowden on the right could be an interesting combination. What are the latest? No idea. Skybacker Talk has gone quiet. Everything's got Cavani, but Cavani's far too old. That's what Happy Hammer sent me a list. Why am I signing all of these? Well, apart from like one of them, who I'm going to talk about last, they're all over the age of 30. That's the trouble. Do you think? Well, no, I'm not talking about that. Right, anyway, let's talk about one more. And it's one that's been sort of doing the rounds recently, and that's Januzaj. West Ham apparently want him and face a battle with Everton as he prepares to make his final decision on his next club. He's making the decision on his next club as well. David Moyes gave Januzaj his big break at Man United, and even when they started to go things wrong, Moyes took him to Sunderland. He may have even took him to Real Sociedad as well, I believe. But the Sun reported back in June that West Ham were keen on signing him after his exit from Real Sociedad, and contact had been made to his representatives. Spanish newspaper AS or ASE now report that West Ham are indeed one of the clubs who have come forward for Januzaj, but so have Everton, and so have Napoli and Sevilla, who are also keen, whilst Januzaj has also had an offer to play in Qatar, but he's not interested in that offer at all. He's been training apparently in a high performance centre in Marbella. in Marbs, no carbs before Marbs, and it's stated he will make his decision on his new club very soon. The chance maybe to play for Moyes one more time could be appealing to Januzaj, but obviously Everton, and maybe even going to ply his trade in Serie A with Napoli. Who knows? The old Rusty Rumour rating, the original Rumour rating, I've given this one a 7 out of 10 because I could see it happening. Not as a marquee signing, but I think maybe as sort of a squad player. I think he could be useful. He could be useful and give us options. Again, not necessarily turn our nose up to it, but there we go. Right, because Januzaj always looks like he has a flu. Good point, he does. Please note Januzaj, he'll probably end up with him because Moyes loves him. He's still talented and in good shape. I imagine that is about Belotti. Right, we've got here, Januzaj always looks like, yeah, he's way past it. Would be a terrible signing to get Januzaj in. We also doubted Craig Dawson, didn't we? Do you think we should play Vlasic as 10 next season? I don't think we will, John. I'd be surprised if Vlasic is still here next season, but obviously you need to get some in before we let him go. I'd say he'd be decent next season. We're going to attack in pre-season, and it's strange to see a champ seat or until Jam benefit from the potential move. Indeed, different manager as well now. In terms of Vincent Kompany, as you said, more attacking football. Obviously, you got Joshy Boy Cullen, so you got West Ham boy in there. He's a good player. So we'll wait and see. Is Longelo injured? I don't know. I think he might be actually. Januzaj demanding he plays. Apparently, thinks he's placing Bowen. That's not going to happen, is it? We need several more players. Can't rely on Aguerd's ankle. 2 extra subs is going to kill us this season. It certainly is. I think. Yeah, I mean, by all accounts, Diop to Fulham is not happening until the scan results come back from his ankle, Aguerd's ankle injury, because it blew up like a balloon straight away, didn't it, really? But it's not a break, but they can't do a proper scan on it until the swelling's gone down, so I don't think Diop's happening to Fulham is going to happen, and I think that's a wise thing. Oh, God, sorry, my eyelash got caught. I think it's a wise thing. Personally, but we'll see. Thank God we didn't get rid of Odebeku or Afolayan. Thank God we didn't get rid of Afolayan. Oh, hang on, we did. Gaza, sign Brenton, please. Just twist up the sister lovers down the M65. Oh, give it a rest. You and Blackburn, eh? You and Blackburn. Cornet still at Burnley at the moment. He is. I'd take Januzaj ahead of Ben Rama, says Freshfielder. The longer he's without a club, the chances increase. See, there's another little 2 check on the way, according to Thomas. It is. Seems which is good as well, because it means, that the family would want to stay and settle in England, rather than necessarily get up and move anywhere. So that's good. Could do worse than Cornet. You certainly could. Benny's not a winger. He certainly isn't, and that's the thing. I think we need a natural winger on the left-hand side. We haven't got one. I mean, Vlasic can play, but again, having the ability to play in a number of positions is great. But you don't. But it's like you're just jack of all trades, but a master of none. And that's what you sort of are. You're a jack of all trades, but you're a master of none. So it's like it's great you can play in 5 positions for a squad, but when you want to say, right, here's Bowen's our right-sided, Lanzini's our 10, who's going to be on our left? And it's like one of 3 people. Januzaj isn't the best, but I'm up for him at a stage. At the end of the day, I think we need bodies in there. We need experienced bodies. We need bodies of, also people who have played in Europe as well. I think that's a huge thing we've missed out on. Particularly in our European campaign this year, we got found out by teams with the dark arts. When the likes of Sevilla and Lyon and Eintracht Frankfurt, having people who have played in these games against these types of teams would benefit us tremendously, and that's something we haven't had for a while. So actually, someone like Januzaj, he's played in La Liga. He's would have played at a reasonable standard. I don't think it's a bad thing, as long as the wages aren't ridiculous, compared to someone else. I didn't mention his name, therefore I didn't have to pay £1. Hello from Borneo. Hope you're well, my friend. What's the weather like over there, mate? Tell us. Fair point, and would love to be proved wrong. That's what I mean. I'd love to be proved. I think he could. I think there's a few. I think there's I think McNeil and Januzaj are basically one of them. If we sign one of them, we don't get both of them, I don't think. If we sign one of them, they'll be our Craig Dawson signing this year. The one that proves us wrong. I really believe that. Because 15 million quid for McNeil's not bad for a 22-year-old. England, he's English as well, so it helps with the older homegrown quota as well. It's not a bad deal. You're probably going to be paying 15 million quid maybe in Januzaj, in terms of wages and signing on fee. Maybe, I don't know. Moyes will have Lingard. £3 for John. Moyes will have to use them. Obviously, he won't, but he has to. Carlton Cole looks fit for a squad. Well, he's been playing at what's name, hasn't he? Playing the old Celtic games, isn't he? Cornet and McNeil, who do you prefer? Probably Cornet. Cornet because of his skill level. McNeil, I just think he's just an old school winger, and I quite like an old school winger. Turf will go because I see Moyes getting him scoring. Rice and Bowman will have to leave this circus soon, and who would blame them? I don't think they'll be leaving for at least another season. Cornet's class. I'd rather lose McNeil. Of course you would. Toby simply says Irons. I expect us to finish 28th and qualify for the Papa John's after looking at transfers compared to other clubs. I did a show yesterday. Go back and check it. We're not Leicester. We're not Everton as well. I'd be shit myself if I was Everton as well. Why didn't we go for Bassi? Well, maybe we didn't fancy him. That's the thing. I think people go, "Oh, we've missed out on missed out on da-da-da." A lot of these players, I don't think we've actually been linked. I don't think we've actually after them. Do you know what I mean? We've been linked with them. And as I said, where's my stupid? Look at this. 153 players now we've been linked with. Actually, I've got to update that. I've got to put Bassi on. One that isn't on the older list now. 153 players so far this transfer window. We're barely halfway through the window. You're not telling me we've made 153 bids. You're not telling me we haven't made... Well, we've signed 4, so that's about 2.5% of that 153. I reckon we've made bids for... or made some sort of inquiries for, I reckon, 10 players, maybe. 15 at most. And some of them will be tentative, won't they? So when people go, we missed out on him, honestly, we don't know if we've got him from or not. And that's the issue. Unless someone comes, and maybe, and I'm not saying not X, but someone from the club says, we put a bid in for and it didn't happen. That will never happen. So we don't know, do we? We don't know. We're just literally slaves to news, slaves to Twitter, and unfortunately, that's the way it is. That's the way it is. Everton. That's what I mean. Everton lost 4-0 to Minnesota United, and they're only signing James Tarkowski. Turf will find this funny. Scored an own goal. So, the fact that we lost 3-1 to a Rangers side who are arguably about 2 or 3 weeks further down their pre-season because they're playing Champions League qualifiers soon, it's not the end of the world. It ain't the end of the world. It's still early doors and we've done okay. I think I put us a B+. I think we've done all right. We have done all right. We haven't done as much business as the likes of Villa or the likes of Arsenal or United, City. Leeds have done some good business, but they've sold 2 of their key players as well. They've sold almost £100 million worth of player as well, so they've had to get business in. We've lost players. People go, we've lost. Nobes would come on and play sporadically. Yarmolenko was a sub. Kroll never played. It's like when you look through his players, Fredericks rarely played, and actually Ashby's. So we're probably about 2 or 3 players down than maybe we were last season. Realistically, David Martin never got a game. Do you know what I mean? Alex Cole never really got a game. At the moment, we still got the likes of Colin Coventry and Ockerflex. I know people have had bids in for him for loan signings, maybe, and Moyes is looking at the right path for these guys. But I wouldn't say that we've done crap at all. I think we've identified players we needed to bring in. We needed to sort out the goalkeeper. We sorted the goalkeeper situation out. We need to send out the centre backs. We sorted the centre backs. We know Mark Noble's left, so we brought in Downs. Left back, forward. If we got a decent left back, a forward, and maybe I reckon 3 players. 3 players, I think will be all right. And then look at bringing some of the youth in as well. Afternoon, Adrian. Hope you're well. It's all going tits up. No, don't worry. But apparently, Bassey's gone for like almost. Isn't it like 20? It's like a Rangers, like it's their highest ever sale for a player or something ridiculous like that. Forest looking at Dennis. Well, good luck to him. Would you take Trossard? He's quite old though, isn't he? I think isn't he knocking on 30? I think there's better players out there, to be honest. Brighton want 50 million for the left back. They're going to get it by all accounts. And there's, I think, the Chelsea boy. They're going to get on loan or something like that. Mate, I've been here for 3 years and every day it's hot. Moved over from Essex. Sorry, from Borneo. Sorry, mate. But he's still Essex. I'd rather have the Italian striker than Brozier. Mate, I'm with you. I think Brozier's great. But he's had 1 season in the Premier League, and I think he's a good player, but he's got potential. By the sounds of it, Chelsea don't want to let him go. Fair enough. So it'd be a loan signing. I'd prefer us to have a striker who's going to be a full-time player for us, rather than someone who's going to be playing for a move or playing to break back into the Chelsea side 23-24 season. Brozier's a great player. Harry did a great show about him the other day, about his attributes and what he brings to the club, what he would bring to the club, very similar to Antonio. But we've got someone similar to Antonio. I quite like the look of Scarmacker. You know, I like the fact that he's got that little bit about him. I like the fact that he's wants to score goals. That's what we want. We want someone to score goals. We want a target man. We want someone for the likes of Bowen, someone for the likes of McNeil or Benrahma or Cresswell to be able to whip it into someone. Someone who's going to really be a nasty bastard. I quite like. I don't know. That's just my opinion. Hello, chaps. This is from Spain. Why did it take so long to sign people? We need more pace on the left, at least 4 more signings. Martin, I think it takes a lot of time for... we only know our West Ham bubble, don't we? But we only know what's in our little bubble. I think a lot of other clubs are the same. Look at Man United and De Jong, for example. That's Man United. That's one of the richest clubs in the world, and they still can't sign bloody De Jong. And that's someone they've been chasing all summer. I know we had Jesse's been over a year, but do you know what I mean? I think there's a lot of similar. I mean, United haven't really got anything at the moment, really. They brought a few players in that are good. Martinez is a great defender, but I think every club's had a similar situation. Only till recently, Newcastle started buying players as well. You don't get players. Because if a player is valued at 20, we offer 10. Then they say we tried, it's perfect. Well, yeah. I really don't want Oxlade Chank. We're going to talk about him on Hammer's Headlines tonight, 5 o'clock. How can anyone say we've done all right? We've done nothing for the size of this club. But then look at Leicester. Look, Leicester City won the Premier League. Do you know what I mean? A few years ago. And they have not signed a single person this transfer window. They could well be losing Tielemans. They have to sell before they buy. Everyone was telling me Leicester have a fantastic set of owners. How is that a case that that team have to sell to buy? That's ridiculous. That is absolutely ridiculous. We have not been told that we have to sell Declan Rice to buy people in. We've got money available. There is money available to buy the right players. Now, if the right players don't want to come to us, that's our problem. That's not necessarily. It's not we can do about that. I think we're a very attractive proposition. I really do. We're in Europe. We're a team that's building. We've got players who have been brought in, who have been broken into the England squad, like Bowen as well. Gives youngsters, young English players, maybe a bit reassurance about coming to West Ham. I think there's a lot to be excited about. I think we have done all right. I think we've brought in. I think that the guys we brought in are all good signings. None of them are duffs. Flynn's come in and really impressed during pre-season. Ariella, we know how good he is. Aguerd, we know we know what a good player he is, and hopefully his injury isn't as bad, and he'll be back. Probably not for the City game, but maybe for a game or so into the season, I reckon. Even if it's an ankle thing, it's only about 3 weeks out, isn't it? And we've only got about 2.5 weeks or so until the Premier League starts. Still 2 weeks, but we need more players. I totally agree. I actually rate the Ox, but we don't need a player made of crisps. The thing is, our main competition have just made 2. They have. They've made some great signings, and I mean, I think I gave Arsenal A- and Spurs A+, and it was hard to do that. They are our I think they're I wouldn't say there are direct competitors. I'll be honest. I still see them slight on the sort of the top. There's different categories. I see in terms of the Premier League. For me, Spurs and Arsenal, they're in the top sort of 6, and we have aspirations to break into that top 6 consistently. But we're the best of the rest, I think. So, we need to be looking around the likes of Villa, the likes of, Leicester, Newcastle. They're going to be the ones we need to make sure we're top of that league. And then whatever comes in terms of that season. So, it is frustrating when you see the likes. But then, not being funny, Conte was leaving 2.5 months ago. Football changes so quickly. If we have two signings in by the end of the week, people might be moaning again. In my opinion. West Ham are 3 weeks behind Rangers. I totally agree. That's what I mean. Trust 26. My apologies. 3 so far. Looks like Areola will be number 2. Aguerd and down to back up. We need more. We do need more down. No denying that at all. Did we win? We did win every pre-season game under Grant. We also lost every game in the 85-86 pre-season as well. So it means nothing. Reds that he hasn't played for a whole year. Yeah, it's true, but he's back in now, which is great to see. He does have COVID. He does have COVID at the moment, which is making things a little bit tricky in terms of Mangala. But that's not a bad thing. It means no one else can get him. One thing I hate is a player on loan and cannot play against his employer. Indeed, it's rubbish. Reality is checking in with our transfer window. Crap as expected. Well, I mean, until we hadn't signed him for ages at the beginning of the transfer window. We only signed Aguerd 2 weeks ago, maybe, was it 2 weeks ago, something like that? And then Areola a week ago, and Flynn was very, very quick. I think it's frustrating because I would like to have seen him more in now, but it's not the case, innit? Calm down, dear, don't make it dry. Indeed, we were probably going for an Iheanacho. Yeah. Love the background, Russ. Are these actually shirts or just pics? Mainly shirts. I'll be honest, there's a couple of pics in there, but you can't really see too many of them. It doesn't, for ones I haven't got shirts for, I couldn't afford because I was, in terms of really bad retro kits. Yeah, thank you, lads. Got a few more. I've got another one to put there, and then I've got the 3 down there. Baseline prediction: by next week, the club will be announcing a new player. Very good. We'll see. This is what it's like. It should be like, it's ridiculous how much money we spent on football whilst cost of living gets more and more expensive. You're totally right, Dennis. You are totally right, my friend. We've been linked to Lanzana. Yeah, we'll talk about that at 5 o'clock tonight as well. The Conference Cup will not help our season. Playing Thursdays will wreak havoc on the league campaign if we don't strengthen the squad. No, I totally agree. Let's go for Harvey Barnes. Great player. Right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to have to go, unfortunately. But let us know in the comments, if you're not watching this live, who you want, who's the next signing you want in the door. And yeah, I'll be back at 5 o'clock tonight. And keep an eye out. If you're new around here, so give it a like, give it a comment, give it a share, give it a lovely subscribe, or maybe become a channel member. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? That would be lovely. We'll be doing some draws very, very shortly for our channel members. I'm waiting on the two recent prize winners because they haven't claimed their prize. I've given them to the end of play today. If they don't, then we're going to be drawing those tomorrow. So make sure you check those out for some lovely West Ham memorabilia and also an Untuck It shirt as well. So all of our channel members are entered into our draws every week. So take care, everyone. Stay safe. Wash those hands. Stay lucky, stay cheeky. Stay positive. And as always, I'd like to thank our channel members at the end of each of our shows. Take care, my friends. Bye bye for now.
It's like a family tree.